Welcome to the Creators Spotlight. I am sharing stories from the people who have been through the Card Creators Coven workshop and the month since the first workshop. So I have got Kerin with me today, and I want to welcome you to the Creator Spotlight and thank you for bringing all of your energy into the Card Creators Coven and sharing your experience with us.
Oh, it's always my pleasure.
So first, for anyone who doesn't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Kerin Monaco. I am a light worker, healer, and mystic. I support the awakened feminine in unearthing her spiritual gifts and stepping forward into service. But I'm actually, as a result of this awesome card coven, finally realized that my heart is really wanting to step more into the energy of healing and helping others really take ownership of their healing. So I do all of that, but this has been so helpful in helping me to start to make that shift.
That's amazing. I had no idea that that's why you started shifting, was because
it was a huge it was like one of many things that started to happen, and like the more the messages came through for my cards, the more I realized where I was kind of dimming my voice in order to be I was just dimming my voice, and I haven't really I haven't like fully figured out how, but the cards really helped me to see that I wasn't always talking about the things that I was the most passionate about.
So, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that helped you figure that out, because like we're in this because we want to be in it, so we need to be following our passions.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So what initially brought you to Card Creators Coven? Why did you say yes?
Well, originally when you and I had talked, I was first, I had already started working on a little deck, which I actually have right here. And I had just put it, on little cards. And that was actually the intention I went into Card Creators Coven with, was to really get a handle on that and make it look a little bit more professional and just tease out those ideas. And then within that first workshop that you did, so I signed up with that intention, but in that first workshop that you ran, and the meditation and just the prompts that you offered, I had like 4 or 5 different decks that were really calling to come through. And I work really hard. I work a lot, and I chose the option that felt like it was the most about just me personally, which is how I ended up going with the one that I made. But anyway, that's where I started. That's why I initially launched or jumped in, and then it's just been a nice little transformation for myself in the past month.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did say yes, because it sounds like it's going really well since then.
Oh, I've had it's been so much fun. It's been fun for me. It's tapping me into the creative process in a different way. I'm not I know you're going to challenge me on this, but I'm going to say I'm not like a typical artist. I've dabbled and I've played, but I always go in with this beautiful vision. It's like going to be a masterpiece, and then it comes out looking like my 6-year-old's, actually not even as nice as my 6-year-old's like schoolwork. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've just mostly one of the things I did was I went on and I just looked at different backgrounds with watercolor and then recreated them on my cards. So this one's unfinished, but this one's finished.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that one. I love the background. So yes, I'm totally going to challenge you on the fact that you are indeed an artist.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's because I've just kept it very basic, but I'm actually happy with that. That feels really good for me in my life right now. But yeah.
You're focusing on the words.
Yes. Which is so typical of me.
Exactly. It fits you, and it fits you know, if you do share it with people or create another one in the same style, it fits who your
Absolutely
clients are too.
And each one has been really like each card experience, like, because I try to set time aside. I'm not great about it, but I've been doing it. It seems like Sunday evenings when I'm completely spent from the week. And like this was one I did a couple of weeks ago, and there was so much healing that came in through the process, and just it was natural and it was easy and it was fluid. So yeah, it's a awesome practice to get yourself involved in.
I love that you have found that much healing in it. Like, I knew that from my own experience that this process definitely healed, but I'd been coming at it so much from like a join because it's fun and you'll end up with some cards, but it really is that healing process.
Well, and what I love about the way you have it set up is that everybody can make it what they need it to be. So for me, it needed to be about the healing because usually I make everything about work. So it was something easy for me and fun to do for myself and receive the healing as a result of that. Because there's a lot of healing that happens when we just let ourselves play.
Absolutely. And especially as projectors, like we need that fun time away from work.
Yeah, and I'm not so good about, the one nice thing was that I'm not great about carving out that time, but because I knew it was a group and there was support, I felt more motivated and more inspired. And one of my words for 2021 is the word moved. And I felt really moved at times, like just compelled to totally sit with the watercolors. And I'm using my daughter's Crayola watercolors. I didn't splurge on like a ton of resources. I did buy your deck, which I know people have seen it, but if they want to see how cute it is, I love it.
And that's perfect for watercolors too, because that's watercolor paper. So
yeah, and then I'm like the queen of the Sharpie markers. I have an entire desk drawer devoted to them. So it was just a natural process that the way you've designed it and the way you've shaped it and the community that you have, everybody's making it what they need it to be for them.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you just got started with what you had. You didn't have to go get fancy.
Oh, I wanted to.
And we all want to go get more supplies.
I know, but I honestly, my daughter is an art fanatic. At only 6, we have like the entire craft store, and I did go and I was like, you know what? I actually just need watercolors because I knew if I made it complicated, I wouldn't even get started.
Yeah, you got to make it simple and make it about the process.
Yeah.
So you had already started making cards before you did this workshop. So what made you want to, like, even if you had already started making them and doing this like intuitive art process, what were you looking for in this workshop, or what did you get from it?
I mean, I really needed community and the idea of, and you have so many amazing energies in there. You have Christy and Jessica, and there, I just knew, and I jumped on as soon as you released the link. I didn't even know who was going to be in there. But I just wanted a community, and this yourself, like we offer so much of ourselves that sometimes we forget to receive what it is we offer. And I do host a couple of communities, and I do put a lot into helping people connect. And I just wanted that for myself. And also, I think at the time it was really like, how can I create this one deck and start to use it in my business? And it became so much, the process that you walked us through in the beginning with that first workshop, I think helped me align to not what work Kerin wanted to do, but what the soul needed in that time. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, the community I'm so excited about. Like there's so many amazing people in the community that I was excited that wanted to join and learn more.
Absolutely. It was, and everybody's really supportive, and everybody's cool about, again, it's like it's novel that you can be in a community and have everybody do their own thing, and it still flow and it still be as supportive as it is. So
Yeah. I mean, we really are all doing like totally different decks and coming from different places in life and business. And
yeah.
everyone's coming together really well.
Yeah.
During the actual workshop, it sounds like some things really started coming up and opening up for you. So, like, what was the most, or the thing that stood out most in that initial workshop?
One thing that I really liked for myself, so I wasn't able to attend the workshop live, so I did love that there was the replay. I actually had a couple of things come up that day where if I had gone live, I knew I just wouldn't have been in the right heart space. So I loved that there was the replay. And I actually, I think I did it the following weekend. I set it up as like a little at-home retreat. I poured my cup of tea. I vacuumed beforehand. I set up all my stuff. And I guess with the initial workshop, I just enjoyed the prompts that teased out different ideas that help, and the meditation really dropped me into my heart so that I could hear that I wanted to create a deck for someone who is healing from codependency as I have, and really stepping forward into, little backstory. Ultimately, what my deck became is for someone who's choosing to be consciously single, who's not looking for a relationship, who's really focusing on her inner being, her inner self, and this person is me, and really just like learning about herself, learning how to love herself, how to stay connected. The workshop is what brought that out. And from the workshop, it wasn't just the deck that started to come through and come out. I mean, I made some significant life changes. I ended a relationship. I recommitted to my 2021 goals. So, you're asking like what helped about the workshop, and I'm saying all of the things that helped me change, but it was just really, I think it was about 90 minutes to 2 hours. It was like a power-packed 2 hours of let's go ahead and change your life. Let's not just create a deck. Let's go ahead and get real and make the changes that you need to make.
That's some powerful stuff right there.
It was. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to just say like the whole process, and you show up very loving, and you can tell that this is your thing and your passion and what you're here to do, I don't know, like the workshop was just the perfect opportunity to explore explore myself, and then what it is that I need to create right now, not what's on my list of goals to create, but what I really needed. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you went through this, and I love how you made like a retreat out of it. Like I feel like that really helped too, just like creating that space, and, not making it like a to-do list item.
Yeah.
Like in the background.
Right. And I think that's one of that's to anybody who is considering it, like one thing that served me really well. And like I said, I haven't done it every Sunday, but I kind of handle every Sunday when I sit down to create. I've also created like the container, the sacred space. I've, kept my phone in the other room unless I'm like cheating and looking at something on YouTube and like trying to figure out how to paint a feather, or like heart doodles on Pinterest. But the fact that like I really felt that one, you kind of emphasized that within that workshop, that like make this sacred, make this, honor yourself, honor the creation process. And that's helped me. It's like, it keeps me excited each time I show up to make a card.
Yeah. It really is like a sacred process. It's like this alchemy of like taking all these separate things and bringing them in.
Yeah. And
paper.
Well, and one of the things that, like, on that note, if I had gone with the idea that I had in mind when I registered, I don't think it would be as sacred. Like, I think I would have been, I'm here to get this done. So the fact that your workshop helped me connect to myself and what my soul was calling for, I think has helped. And I think that's part of the healing, where it's not so get it done. It's just be here in your, I don't know, can I say shit here? Like,
yes, please do.
So yeah, sit here, be in your shit, and create the messages that you most need to hear. Yeah.
Exactly. Be real.
I don't know, because like I said, I've never been on this platform before, and YouTube will censor you if you say.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I think once you get like really big, but it does.
Censored.
Yeah.
Wow. So now that you've created this process and this practice, it sounds like you've like set this on your calendar to show up for yourself in your deck. How do you feel about creating and making cards and receiving these messages? Do you feel differently about it than when you started that first deck?
Yeah, because in the beginning it was so results driven. And that was really when you and I had originally talked about that deck. I was like, I want something that's not surrender. I want something that's not have faith and trust. And that's the bulk of the messages that I'm getting from my own deck. So slightly triggered at times, but I'm like, no, I get it. But what I like to that point, like I said, like I wanted something that wasn't about have patience, surrender, and have faith. And what I actually really have loved, that, like I showed this card already, the Let It Steep, that's about patience, but it came through in a different way where I was like, oh, this makes sense. If you leave the tea bag in too long, it gets bitter. If you take it out too soon, then it doesn't reach its like fullest flavor. So it's got to be just right. And my manifestation has to be just right. Okay, I got you. I'm with you. I'll let it steep. So I think it took the messages that I'm getting so routinely, because I am a card, I guess I am a card creator now, but a card collector as well. So I feel like it took those really common messages that I get time and time and time again, and it helped me find like the actual message that I need, which is that, listen, you're hearing it's going to be in divine time, have patience, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is going to take forever. But it's like, no, we're not going to we're not saying like, let it sit so long that it's bitter and you're resentful. We're just saying like, when the tea is right.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a huge part of it. I think going from just reading cards to creating them is that you're writing them in your language. You're taking the messages that you get like every single day, that card that you pull over and over and over again, and making it make sense.
Right.
So you can actually take action.
Yeah. And as a reader myself, I'm constantly asked from, and I know I have done this too, so I won't be like, oh, my clients are always asking yes or no. Like, I know that I've had those yes or no questions on my heart. And that's when this life is not black and white, live in color came through. When it was like, you keep asking me yes or no, and sometimes things are not, it's not like a yes or no. It's just like, hey girl, just go live and we'll get to you when we get to you. So it's been, it's added depth to the messages that I've been receiving for so long.
I love that. Yeah. It makes them yours.
And like there were times when some of the messages came in and I was like, okay, that's a little triggering. But the more the message came through and they were speaking my language, like they were speaking rainbows and they were speaking tea, I was like, okay, I can do this.
Rainbows and tea.
Yep. Rainbows, tea, and hearts. Lots of hearts.
Yeah.
Well, there's a heart on every single card. I think if I had like a design theme, because every card looks so different, I feel like my theme is just hearts.
There we go. It's a thread that weaves them all together.
Yeah, there's just a heart on each card.
So in the next few months, where do you plan on taking this project, or what's your ultimate goal with it?
I'm just letting it evolve. I am someone who likes the outcome defined. And I think that's one of my main issues in this lifetime. It's like, hey, let it sit. And really just letting it be because the experience that it's been just in the couple of weeks, because I think we're only 5 weeks in or 4 weeks in.
5, yep.
Yeah, it's just been, what it needs to be. And so I'm going to just keep going. I'm going to just keep creating. One thing that's been really interesting, like I get ideas or inspiration for the actual art, background or doodle before I get the message. But I do know that this one has something to do with fire and flames, but I'm letting it kind of percolate for a while. But yeah, so I just intend on letting the process be open and fluid and letting it be, it's, like the phrase that keeps coming through is it's like passive healing, because I'm not actively trying to heal something. It's just naturally happening the more I surrender to the process.
I love that. Sometimes that's what we need. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. Final question then is for anyone who doesn't know if they can do it or isn't sure if it's right for them or is just thinking about it, what would you say to them?
I feel like if you've watched this, if you've come this far in the video and you've listened to us, I feel like if you have even the faintest curiosity, or there's even that, like, how you get that tingle of excitement or that tingle of interest, I would kind of say like you owe it to yourself to give it a try and to let yourself have this fun and to take that leap of faith that you're going to get what you need from it. And also, Ashley does walk you through everything that you need. I will tell you, I am not an artist. Well, okay. I am becoming an art. I am claiming artistic energy. But before, my intention was like, this was the style of card, like one word on it was going to be on the white cardstock, or the card that Ashley sent. And it really just became something else. One, I have more confidence in testing things out. I have one card that it was the first card I made that I don't like. And I'm going to just redo it. This is it. I put it over to the side today so I didn't accidentally show it. And then here I am showing it. But it just, like, invest in yourself. Like, give yourself the opportunity to do something you're interested in. Do something, like, give yourself the opportunity to be really great at it. I think we all go in and we're like, oh, I'm not going to be good at this. Or we go in with the idea, I'm going to do it for light workers and it's going to be one word on the paper and that's it. And you help people let it evolve and become what it needs to become for them, not for you, but for them. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of your work and your energy.
Beautiful.
Did I answer that? I go off on tangents.
No, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Because I do believe that. I feel like we so often don't take a chance on ourselves because we just anticipate we're going to not be good at it, or, or even like sometimes, like with something like this, I kind of feel like people might think like, oh, I could just do that in my own time. Like, I don't need to go and do a program. But I will tell you, you need the program. Like, maybe you don't need it, but like I just would do it. I would just do it. Okay. I've had all of those objections to things in the past, like I'm not going to be good at it, or like I could, or it's like when you see something on Etsy and you're like, I could just whip that up on my own time, and then you try to, and it's tragic. This doesn't have to end that way. Join Card Creators Coven. It won't have to end that way. Like, I actually love my deck, and I know that it wouldn't be what it is without that initial workshop. One, I would be doing something that wasn't aligned, and I just know, like, it became what it is because of being in the group and taking that and investing in myself and what I need. Okay. Do it.
Amazing. I'm so grateful to you for going through this workshop, and I'm so glad that you love your deck now and have found all these things within yourself that you didn't realize were there yet. And it's been a beautiful transition, like watching you as you from even before Card Creators Coven, like seeing all your progressions and everything coming together so well.
And I do feel like, and I don't necessarily know if I thought about it up until this moment, but I do feel like the creating of the cards and sitting with that process, and only because the card that really changed my life is sitting here on the top, like the card that came as a result of like a big shift. And like, I really don't know how far I would be in my process without kind of stepping into this creation.
It's something magical when you see it in your head, you feel it, but then you get it out onto paper.
Absolutely.
Something totally changes.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's so funny because like the card is keep your heart open. And I've now seen, I don't think I've ever been conscious of that message before, but now I'm seeing it everywhere, like in books. It's like, you should keep your heart open. And, billboards. I don't know if I've seen it on a billboard, but it surprised me if I had. So yeah, it's just been, I've loved it. And I recommend it to anybody who is, again, like I said, even like slightly curious. I feel like you're going to really land into something more than you anticipate, in a good way, not like, like it's going to be a really beautiful thing for you.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing all of these amazing things. There's so much that I didn't even realize.
Yeah, well, I've pulled off of social media so much that I'm not out there like talking as much, but this has been phenomenal. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I look forward to seeing more of what you create, and to you calling yourself an artist, because you totally are.
I'm like, yeah, I am. What background is art or art?
So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope everyone got a lot out of this. And if you have any questions about Card Creators Coven, to anyone who is thinking about it, just reach out, let me know, and I'll be happy to chat with you. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you again. Bye.
Bye.